1980s was probably one of the most greatest years that has ever lived up to American childhood. Today, revealing the top 10 80s songs that were made for the 1980s. Number 10, Summer of 1969 by Bryan Adams. This song was featured in the 1980s track list for American rock at the time, and Bryan Adams was probably one of the main reasons of why 1980s became so popular with the summer of 1969. Although not recommended in the years of 1969, but the year was actually supposed to mean something. A lot of sex during that time was in 1980s, and this is one of the most predominant reasons of why Summer of 69 became the number one track by Bryan Adams. Number 9, Don't Stop Believing by Journey, 1981. The very first song to release in first year of 1981 was Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Throughout most of the point, the bridging part of the song actually refers to Don't Stop Believing, which is actually a phrase that is so strong that it made people hold on to that feeling, which is probably one of the most greatest things about the 1980s. Number 8, Bad Boys by Inner Circle, 1987. When this song was released in the 1980s, it was predominantly used by the 2018 series Cops. But it was also revealed that Bad Boys by Inner Circle was later adapted as a movie by Michael Bay, known as Bad Boys. The title of the movie is set to be placed in Miami, Florida. Starring Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, this song became an instant classic for the Bad Boys movie franchise, which kinda updated a fourth movie called Bad Boys Ride or Die. And this song has been predominantly used in every Bad Boys movie. Number 7, I Can't Drive by 55 by Sammy Hagar, 1985. The song used in the movie Back to the Future also makes its returning score for the 2018 Transformers movie called Bumblebee. This movie soundtrack has been infamously known to be based off a true story by Sammy Hagar, who got a speeding ticket for driving over 100 miles per hour by a 55 speed limit sign. And this song was pretty much the most catchiest things about 1985 at that time, because driving 55 in America is quite illegal because due to the traffic safety issues of Americans that are known to regulate very seriously. Number 6, The Touch by Stan Bush in 1986. The 1986 Transformers movie was adapted into a live action series called Transformers Live Action by Michael Bay. Michael Bay also did Transformers 1 to 5, but however, Michael Bay had flopped the franchise over the past few months because it didn't even had anything got to do with the original Transformers. The soundtrack used by Stan Bush in 1986 was called The Touch. It's obviously one of the most memorable and catchiest things about the 1980s at that time. Number 5, Who's Bad by Michael Jackson, 1987. Released in pretty much the same without anything about to do it, Michael Jackson's Bad was pretty much the most recognizable song about 1987 at that time, and it later became an instant hit in pop culture such as Despicable Me and Megamind. Michael Jackson's Bad has been a great noticeable icon for the past few months, and later in Nickelodeon's Glee, Grant Gustin was featured to be singing the song that was based on Michael Jackson's original work. Number 4, Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood, 1982. The song that was heavily used by the monster truck Gravedigger was Bad to the Bone. This song also made references in other known movies such as the iconic Terminator franchise in 1991's Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and of course Megamind. This is obviously one of the songs that was used at that time. And later on in 1983, John Carpenter's Christine also got the song for the opening title. Very good idea for a classic like this to be featured in such a movie. Hitting off the list with number 3 on the list is Eye of the Tiger, released in 1982. Used for the opening title song for the Rocky 3 franchise, this song has become an instant hit worldwide. And for some reason, the Eye of the Tiger song was basically a song about tigers. It's very ironic since the lyrics say, and the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all in the eye of the tiger. It's very catchy and driving, particularly literally. In Family Guy, Peter Griffin was seen singing the song, however, it was cut short soon after a guy named Quagmire stops him. And this was only the first time we get to see a cartoon singing a 1982 rock hit. In fact, one of the Family Guy episodes has an episode based off Rocky, which did use Eye of the Tiger, but it was cut off short. Counting down number 2 is The Police, Every Breath You Take from 1983. One of the most iconic and recognizable tunes about the 1980s was definitely in 1983, featuring The Police singing Every Breath You Take. The lyrics say, I'll be watching you. It's definitely one of the most uncomforting and creepy lifestyle of the song. The song itself was basically creepy enough to scare audiences by hearing the lyrics, I'll be watching you. Became one of the most creepiest and yet terrifying songs to ever know. And guess what? This song was actually used for stalking because I do not think people would actually understand it, but later on in 1992, it became an instant hit among the 1980s. And finally, number 1, Van Halen's Jump, 1983 to 1984. The recognizable song of Van Halen was called Jump, originally titled as Go Ahead and Jump based off the song's lyrics. The driving force of the song was basically inspired by David Lee Roth, who got the idea of seeing a man attempting to jump off a towering building. And the shout phrase in the center section of the song was called Go Ahead and Jump. This later adapted to guitarist turned keyboard rocker Eddie Van Halen, who tragically passed away in 2020. And guess what? Van Halen Jump had hit the movie theaters ever since, starting off with 2018's Ready Player One, but also featured as a short-lived cameo in 2005 Disney Herbie Fully Loaded, featuring Lindsay Lohan. And guess what? Van Halen Jump has become quite recognizable at that time, and it has been synonymous with everyone jumping up and down to the song Jump. And whenever they shout the word jump, people would just say, go ahead and jump, because they would tell people to just go ahead and jump. So there you have it, folks. That is the top 10 list of every 1980s song on the list. Hope you guys enjoy watching this. Make sure that you go comment, like, and subscribe.